Welcome everybody to our Bluesy Water channel. I have Franz with me. We're doing a series of videos covering different aspects of P.E.M.F therapy. Our previous video, we kind of just did a quick overview. So, Franz, what would you like to focus on basically the action of P.E.M.F in terms of healing and from your perspective?
Yes. So the main thing about P.E.M.F is we have to look at three criteria. The first thing is that it accelerates the blood circulation. The second thing is it's increasing the oxygen supply within the cells. And then, of course, it's also enhancing the metabolism, and it opens up all your lymphatic blockages. How does it basically work? Through the influence of the postmagnetic field, we split up the red blood cells, which are actually clotting together due to the fact that we have the exposure to Wi-Fi, due to the fact that our body is getting acid through bad food. So actually we split up the red blood clots, which are, it's called a Rouleaux effect. So because only a single cell, which carries the red blood cells, which carries the oxygen, can make its way through the capillaries, yeah, and to the regular cells. So now we split them up. The red blood cells makes its way through the capillaries, and then it ends up at the regular tissue cell. Under the influence of the for example, Wi-Fi, we see here the Rouleaux effect, which means the red blood cells are clumping together, and this is what's causing diseases, because red blood cells are actually carrying the oxygen, and they only can make their way through the capillaries and bring the oxygen to the regular cells when they single it up, when they split it up. Yeah. So we, with P.E.M.F, yeah, actually we can split them up after like 10, 15 minutes or 20 minute session. And here on this image, we can see already after like 10, 15 minutes, the effect of P.E.M.F, what it does, you see the red blood cells, you know, all split up, single, and actually that's the only way they can make their way through the capillaries and bring the oxygen to the regular cells. Yeah, we see also a picture from the microcirculation. That's what P.E.M.F is doing. Yeah, microcirculation is actually the most important thing of P.E.M.F. That's important thing. So now the next problem we have is whenever the red blood cells, they bring the oxygen to the tissue cell, the regular tissue cell, if it's injured, if it's damaged, it's blocked. Yeah, and the reason is because the iron concentration on the cell membrane, outside the positive and inside the negative concentration, is out of balance. So we balance the iron concentration on the cell membrane, positive and negative. And the moment it's balanced out, the sodium-potassium pump is working properly again. Now nutrients, especially oxygen, can go into the cells, and the waste product can be released. You can read everything on our website, the sedonawellness.com.
Okay.
We have a lot of literature, we have a lot of education. So, and worst comes worst, they can always call you or also me.
Okay, so you have the declumping of the red blood cells to increase circulation.
Correct.
You have the critical balancing the cell membrane.
Correct.
Is there one more? There's one more, right?
No, before that we had the capillaries, because the red blood cells have to be by itself to make their way through the capillaries. Right. Yeah, and even sometimes they have to break it up. Yeah, and then, you know, they come to the regular tissue cell, and this is blocked because of the unbalanced iron concentration on the cell membrane.
Okay, and then as far as so now the toxins can get basically oxygen come in and toxins can release.
Exactly, they release, yeah. And that's why we're talking about the Herxing reaction, which I mentioned in the previous video, when we have people with Lyme's disease or cancer or really toxic people, and we have like an aggressive waveform, which we mentioned before, the sawtooth waveform, and we detox too much, yeah. First of all, we have a bad reaction. I mean, people could get diarrhea, yeah, or they start reacting that they're shaking and sweating, yeah, because of toxins that want to leave the body very fast, and a lot of toxins. So this is the uncomfortable way. It doesn't do any damage, but what we want to do is we want to help people on a smooth and comfortable way, yeah.
Correct.
And that's why we have to understand when do I use which intensity, which frequency, and what waveform. And that's how we work with people.
Right, and if we have a lot of videos on detoxification, we teach integrated systems. So
yeah,
if you go in understanding, okay, if everything's deeply buried in the body, and now all of a sudden you're moving everything, getting more circulation, more oxygen in, the toxins want to leave. Yes, you're going to go through what's called a Herxheimer detox reaction. There are ways to support that so you can minimize the effects, and you need to understand the process going in, but do not think that waking things up to resolve is better than letting the crap sit. It's like having a bunch of I don't want to be graphic, but if you had a basement and it was full of garbage, you don't just shut the door. You gotta when a body is toxic and things bury in the cells, if you don't, over time, if you don't get rid of those toxins, you get into much more chronic illness.
I compare it sometimes, you clean your swimming pool, or you clean your fish tank, whatever you have, it's all about terrain. What is it? I mean, we talked lately about the virus situation, what we have. I mean, we've been living with viruses and bacteria for many, many years, and thousands of viruses. As long as our body's immune system, which means our cells, and our body is full of cells and liquid, that's all we are, 85 trillion cells and liquid. As long as our cells are working properly, as long as the terrain is good, it doesn't matter what comes in, because we bring it out again. That's the most important thing. And as you mentioned correctly, the moment something gets stuck in there, it's tough to get it out later on if it's too late. And people wait too late, I mean, first of all, we're talking about diet. I mean, we see the diet from now, and we see the diet, what happened 40, 50 years ago. Yes, people gain weight, but now, I don't know how many, every out of 100 Americans, 70 or 80 have obese, and it's crazy. The next thing is all the medication sometimes. So wrong medication, supplements, yes, but the body needs to clean. We need to clean the body from all these toxins. And the next thing is what we recommend people when they start our treatment: drink a glass of water before and after the session, because you need a lot of water to flush out the toxins. And again, when we talk about detoxifying, a lot of these high-powered machines, they say, oh, no, we have to detox fast. But we have to also watch the liver and the kidney, because, we don't want to stress them out. So we want to do it in a smooth way. And the important thing is what we do is, and that service is for free, and we've been doing this for 29 years now, we work with the clients. We're not allowed to say patients. We work with the clients to guide them. Okay, what program do we use to get started, and what do we use after a week? Because determining on the reaction of them, we give them the next programs. And that's actually the secret why we see fast results.
So as Franz said, this is going to activate every cell. So this is a great program we teach. So if you really are serious about detoxification, contact me. We can go over this program, and you can watch videos in this program. So one other thing, our featured product on our website is Blue Z water, and it is a profound detoxification water. So if you're going to pump that cell, micropump that cell, you want to be able to pull metals and chemicals. The water will go in literally and grab on site heavy metals and chemicals. The water will, so while you're pumping the cell, you can now grab up the toxins we explain this in more depth. This is a form of chelation therapy. It's not exactly chelation therapy. The bottom line is it goes after metals, chemicals. The water itself has a lot of oxygen, so now you're going to even have further oxygen to the cell. It also is an antioxidant therapy. The minerals in the water actually feed the cells, so now the cells are more open to receive these vital trace minerals, and it's also what's called structured water. But anyhow, this is a great water to drink before and after in conjunction with P.E.M.F.
And not to forget, Andrew, we even treat our drinking water with P.E.M.F. And studies have shown that the frequency we give into the water stays in the water. So basically, if you imagine now the Schumann frequency, I treat my water with the Schumann frequency, and then I drink it. The frequency stays in the water and goes into your body. So we have even more effect now when we treat our drinking water with P.E.M.F. So depending what frequency you want to do. Yeah, because if I want a relaxing sleep, a good deep sleep, I treat my water between 1 and 3.5 hertz, which
How
is
long do you treat it for? How long do you treat it for?
We treat it for half an hour. Yeah, you don't need half an hour, but I leave it half an hour on the pillow and we treat it. And we've seen that the energy stays at least a few days in the glass bottle. We use glass bottle, yeah, and we even have a study going on soon in the next few weeks from a famous laboratory in the US. They're gonna actually find out how long the energy and the frequency will stay in the water, which we treat for half an hour. Yeah, and I had the idea 29 years ago. We knew about the magnetized water, how good it is, and we see when we actually use magnetized water for plants, amazing the plants, the difference. Yeah, and we had studies done back then. But then I had the idea, okay, why don't I create magnetized water and I sell magnetized water? Because I've seen these vitamin waters, I have seen these waters, yeah. Why not selling magnetized water? Now it would be an amazing thing, yeah. But you know, I was afraid and I was told that the energy doesn't stay long enough in the water because, you know, sometimes when it's bottled, you know, it has to stay at least before somebody drinks, it could take 3 to 6 months before it comes to the end use, yeah. But anyway, all our clients who have the Sedona, they're happy to treat the drinking water, yeah, with the Sedona. And again, you can choose the frequency. If I wake up in the morning instead of coffee, they treat the water with a frequency range from 8 to 70 hertz, which brings your metabolism going, yeah, which we actually recommend before you do sports. Use, you know, 8 to 70, up to 70 hertz, yeah, which we go frequency up and down. And then your metabolism is there where you want to have it. Yeah, the same thing after sports. And after sports, yes, you know, cool down and use 1 to 10 hertz, which you mentioned in the previous video. Your favorite is 1 to 10. Yes, that's actually the frequency where your body starts to relax, where we bring the acidity out of the body again. And that's what we see on athletes, especially professional soccer players, which I work with a lot of them because I myself, as you know, play professional soccer. We see since they use a P.E.M.F or P.E.M.F device, they stay away from injuries because injuries occur in the last 15 or 20 minutes of a game when your muscle is getting acid, yeah? And that's a danger of big muscle injuries, yeah? So now, you know, sometimes in the halftime, I have top professional clubs, they have a few mats in their locker room, the players jump on there for a few minutes, yeah, push oxygen in, and of course, the acidity goes down, and they're good to go, yeah. So
it also pumps the lactic acid out.
Exactly. So the importance of water, and we treat it, is really underestimated from people. People really don't understand the power of water, yeah. And that's why, you know, I'm happy you do the seawater. It's great.
Actually, yeah, I have several other therapies where you frequency treat the water. Yeah, this is a innovation I've seen. I mean, I actually recommend the treatment for our bluesy water to enhance it.
Yeah.
And also our Brown's gas water literally has a frequency setting on it where you can put frequency into the water. So this, let me ask you this: if somebody, let's say, treats the water in the morning and does 870,
yeah,
when they're going to sleep and they drink that water again, would that be a conflict with the
yeah, they will be awake and energized for at least many hours. And it's the same thing also when we do our Sedona sessions. You know, in the morning we recommend the higher frequencies, you know, to activate your body. And you know, mostly we need the higher frequency also, which we might also talk about later, to get rid of the inflammation. Because if I have inflammation, you know, and I do low frequencies, I'm doing the opposite what I want to do, yeah. So basically in the morning, higher frequencies during the day, and then in the evening we always bring it down to the very low frequencies between 1 and 10 hertz.
So if you're you might want to label your water and you might want to make a couple of quarts or gallons and then put a label on what the frequency is. So
Okay.
drink appropriately. So I would always assume that just being on the mat with the pillow, let's say, would just sort of treat the entire water body by, you know, pretty well. First of all, if you're going to sleep on it all night long, you're going to get to everything, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So if you're not going to sleep on it all night long, I could see where you want to maybe do a 1 to 3.5, treat the water, and it'll really help you stay in a deeper. In other words, that resonant frequency will stay in the body.
Yeah, for at least 10 to 14 hours.
Wow, I'm going to try it.
Yeah, and that's why when we go to conferences, people come in the morning and they do sessions. Before they leave, we tell them, and mostly they tell us, oh, Franz, maybe you have 10, 20, 30% pain relief already. It's amazing. But we tell them, listen, it's going to get better in the next few hours because, you know, it's still working in your body for the next 10 to 15 hours. And it happens a lot of times. People come back at the end of the conferences and say, Franz, I can't believe it. Running around all day long here. Normally I get tired. I have more energized now and my pain is even less. Yeah. So people have to understand that the energy not only stays in the water, but also in the body. Yeah.
Right. Because the body has a lot of water in it.
Exactly.
The other, if you treat, let's say, just 16 ounces, a pint of water, can you treat less time, or you still need a half hour?
As I said, 15 minutes is enough. It's
For
totally
a pint,
enough.
but if it's a gallon, you might go half hour.
Definitely go half an hour. Yeah.
On the pillow.
Yeah, on the pillow.
So is there, for a gallon, would you recommend more? Is there a peak where it doesn't matter?
No, it doesn't matter because, as you know, our pillow applicator, you know, the energy, it fills out the whole basketball court, yeah, which you can measure with the Gauss meter. So definitely half an hour is plenty.
For a gallon?
Yes.
With a pint, you might be able to get away with 15 minutes if you want to.
Oh, yeah, totally. Yeah.
Okay, great. I didn't know that. I'm going to start trying that.
Oh, yeah, you will see a difference. You will feel a difference. It's great. And also the taste of the water. I mean, also what you can do is what we did is when you do like gold dust, you put it in there like this 1 gallon, you know, what you have in the US, yeah? Or even in a glass, you will see the energy of the water. It starts turning.
Wow, interesting.
To the right.
One last question on this. So if, let's say somebody has their water treated 7.83, and they go to sleep and they put the system at 1 to 3.5.
Yeah.
That kind of work together, or do you want to be totally lined up on the frequencies?
No, you don't have to be lined up. Totally not. No, if you have your water, and plus, I mean, people should drink a lot anyway. And, you know, the water they treat during the day, it should be gone. Yeah. And then if they want to drink in the evening, just put a glass of water on the pillow for like 10, 15 minutes, and then you have your evening water.
But if you go 7.83 and then you toggle down to 1.35, they probably won't conflict, right?
No, not at all. No.
So don't, in other words, don't treat it 8 to 70 at night and then try to stay down in the low 1 to 10 if you're going to
1 to 10 hertz.
If you like Schumann and kind of like Schumann's a kind of a universal healing frequency.
Correct.
Treat that.
Yeah.
Probably treat that all along, you know, at any point along the way, and be safe at Schumann.
Yeah.
It is
definitely
the Earth's frequency. Okay, great to know. We're going to cover one more thing in the next video, which is what I call cellular. Something we have a third feature, what I call magnetic hypnosis or cellular entrainment for anxiety, insomnia, etc. So we'll devote a next segment to that. So thank you on this, and
you're welcome.
Everybody, if you want more information, you can contact me, Andrew at bluesywater.com.